We're delighted to be joined at EntreConf by Sahar Hashemi, the founder of By Women Built, a really important organisation promoting female entrepreneurs. Sahar is an entrepreneur in her own right, having founded Coffee Republic, and also a former FT Book of the Month author. Good morning to you.
Hello, I'm thrilled to be here.
Very good. So please tell us, please set the scene, how far women are significantly underrepresented as entrepreneurs. The stats are pretty shocking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stats, as we see with the Rose Review, I think really woke us all up when the Rose Review 2019 originally was produced by Alison Rose, the CEO of NatWest. And the findings of that were that our rates of entrepreneurship were far lower than other developed similar countries. So to give you an idea, our rates of female entrepreneurship are 30% below countries like America, Canada, and the Netherlands. And you would think, well, I don't care about that, that happens. But the truth is it affects us all, because that 30% lag that we've got, that is actually the potential in the UK economy is 200 billion. So that 30% that we don't have, if we had the same amount of entrepreneurs that they do in America, Canada, Netherlands, we would actually have an extra 200 billion in the UK economy. Not to be said that if we had the same rates of female entrepreneurship as we do male entrepreneurship, that's an extra 250 billion to the UK economy, because now only 1 in 3 of the UK entrepreneurs are female. And that's why, I always felt sort of in a way, it's the untapped engine of the UK economy is female entrepreneurship. We're all looking post-COVID as to where's it all going to come from? Where's our prosperity going to come from? Where's our future going to come from? Well, the really low-hanging obvious fruit of this is encouraging more female entrepreneurship in this country.
And it's quite remarkable as you talk through those stats that, of course, women miss out on opportunities, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But so does the economy. Those stats are just mind-blowing. That gap that we're all missing out on. Can you talk a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, I mean, people sort of always, you think it's for gender parity. And I think for me, very much, it was like, oh, brilliant, great to have more entrepreneurs. But it was very much seeing the stats from the Rose Review. And then, post-COVID, all of us thinking, how can we help the economy? How can we invest in our futures and our communities? Well, the really obvious one is female entrepreneurship, and because we're missing out their contribution to the economy. And again, one of the stats that came up from the Rose Review was one of the biggest reasons women don't start is lack of confidence, and that's very much was the catalyst for me to start By Women Built, because women lack confidence. And I think it's actually a misperceived sort of thinking that they lack the skills to be an entrepreneur, because I actually think women, particularly female qualities, are incredibly suited for entrepreneurship. A lot of the qualities that kind of, in a way, people used to laugh at as sort of overly feminine qualities, the sort of female cliches, actually lend themselves incredibly well to entrepreneurship, be it the multitasking female brain, be it the resourcefulness, be it the fact that if the consumer economy had a sex, it would be female. So women are shoppers. So, what I always say is qualities which we used to sort of almost hide in the workplace are now becoming just absolutely imperative for innovation and change. And so it plays to women's strengths, resourcefulness, showing vulnerability, networking, thinking out the box, even sometimes not knowing what you're doing, but just doing it. And so it's for me, I just couldn't believe why we don't have enough female entrepreneurs. And I decided to do something with my co-founder to actually increase the level of confidence in women. Why are they not confident? Why don't they think they can start? Why are men much more confident in their ability to start a business? We need to change that. And, the formula By Women Built is actually, you can't be what you can't see. So, we can talk until, the sun goes down about how many barriers there are to female entrepreneurship. But what we forget is there are all these absolutely incredible businesses around us, all around when we go shopping, when we're in Boots, when we're in Sainsbury's, when we're in Asda, and we have no idea that so many of these brands are women built, and we're missing this fact, and we're sort of missing a trick by not knowing this.
And just back to that point about qualities, I mean, maybe there's a case that that women are inherently not the alpha male, the red in tooth and blood and claw of capitalism and so on, that they are often more thoughtful about how and why they're in business. Do you think that's a potential factor as well?
Well, it's actually okay, I look at it differently. So I work with big companies around innovation, and what everyone's talking about is customer empathy, right? So what everyone's talking about in the world of innovation in the corporate world is how can we get people to be more customer centric? How the world of the customers changed, and people often in large organizations are internally focused and they're not in tune with the changes of the customer world, right? Whereby what I've seen with the businesses in our community, we just recently did a survey, and 99% of the businesses in the Buy One Build community started from a personal need. So there was something that they were missing in their own life or the lives of their loved ones. And yet they went out, that was the genesis of the idea. And they thought, okay, that's what I need. This is the problem I've got. I can't find what I need for this problem, so I'm going to build it myself. And so ultimately, what's incredible about these businesses, their level of customer centricity is actually off the charts, because they start as their own customer. They look at everything through the customer's eyes. And this is, I think, what really distinguishes a women-built business. They're not thinking, oh God, that's an enormous market share, how can I go and grab that? Because often that's not the way to start a successful business. It's all about authenticity and real problem solving for customers. That's what innovation is. And that's what these women-built businesses have in spades. And we know the businesses, and we've never known they're women-built. And that's what we're doing at Buy One Build, is actually saying to you, did you have any idea that business you buy from every day is actually a women-built business?
I mean, it's clearly an absolutely fabulous, but frankly, vital initiative. And we'll come on to some of the practical steps in just a sec. Just want to come back to some of the reasons, some of the barriers or challenges. You've articulated very, very carefully about perhaps lack of confidence. What other factors come into play that result in women entrepreneurs being so underrepresented?
And well, the reality is the sort of the default kind of caregivers in any family situation in the home are actually happen to be women. Whatever happens, be it children, be it parents. So, and especially since COVID, we definitely saw that became even more highlighted in a way. So, there are barriers, but our point is we can talk forever about the barriers. And in fact, the work of the Rose Review around the Investment in Women Code, around opening up education, sources of finance, to really kind of, that extra step that I think anyone who's starting a business, just sort of the extra help you need, the guidance and the curation of where to go, that's being dealt with. But, what I think is the real issue is you can't be what you can't see. If all you're seeing is, that fact that 2p out of every pound goes to women-built businesses, that's the only investment is 2p in every pound of every investment goes to female-built businesses. That's not going to encourage anyone to go to an investor, is it really? So we've got to change the conversation, which is what we're trying to do.
Got to change the conversation, and I wondered about further practical steps that can be taken to improve the situation.
Well, my practical steps is, listen, what I really believe is that a pound of customer spend, a pound of revenue is worth 10 times more to a business than a pound of investment. Because, what is a healthy business? A healthy business is a business that drives revenue. So at Buy One Build, we want to showcase these businesses and tell people, if you've got a choice, pick up the Women Built brand and support women, because the more we support them, the bigger they get, the more they can showcase and become like a beacon for other businesses. So, the genesis of how I started Buy One Build was in lockdown. I saw a tweet, and that tweet was, not all of us can invest in women, not all of us can mentor women, but we can all buy from them. And that was like really strong, because, the power of the consumer spend is enormous. And as consumers, we've all got enormous power to support a business, because buying from a business is equal to investing in it. And especially now, with the conscious consumer, very much the new generation, the younger generation, buy with purpose and mission at top of mind. So what better than galvanizing the whole country to spend a bit more around women-built businesses, because they're amazing businesses. And I said, they're so customer focused. They're often solving a problem for themselves. At the moment, we've had 700 submissions, and I spend most of my waking hours going through these submissions. I'm just in awe of the sort of businesses that are out there and how genuine they are, and therefore how innovative they are in the issues that we all face, and stuff that we can't find. And that's why, you know, they really kind of sort of fill a gap in the market, each of them in their own way.
So tell us a little bit more about By Women Built. Is it is one way to look at it, and I'm not trying to be you know, too contextualized here, that it's a fantastic echo chamber. It's a promoter, a champion of women created businesses. Is that how we should look at it?
I'm funny enough, we always say we don't want to be an echo chamber, because I think there are a lot of women built, a lot of sort of female communities just speaking to each other kind of thing. Whereas actually what we want to do, and there are some amazing communities supporting women, but what we found, and I think the difference, which, and I, you know, very much been part of that sort of ecosystem myself and part of that echo chamber. But what I thought, one thing we've never done is go out to the consumer to connect these businesses together, because each of them individually are incredible. But when you put them together, the power is quite extraordinary. And also I believe in the power of peer-to-peer sharing. I mean, what happens at our community? We started very small, as you know, everyone knows in the audience, the only way to start big things to start very small. And we had a WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp's grown to 100, and now we've moved to a community tool of hundreds. And the level of sharing, and you know, women share in a different way. Women are much more open about their problems, and just really being able to ask a question that only another founder who's been there, who's had the experience, can answer you that, is actually really useful, and feeling in a way that there's someone else who's got your back. There's someone else that you can really vent to, away from the kind of interpersonal dynamics. So some sort of a safe vortex whereby you can really ask the questions, get advice, share experience. That's what's really exciting. And no one's ever really connected all the kind of B2C women built brands together. And that's what we're doing. And it's extraordinary, the magic really that happens when we put together these brands and then present them together as a group to a consumer.
I wanted to give you a slightly discordant view, and I'm sure you'll be very familiar with this, which is, some will say, do women really need this supportive action rather than perhaps succeeding in their own way?
Well, see, I was one of those people actually always who, you know, if I said, you know, was that because you were a woman? You know, I always think, you know, anything that I didn't succeed in wasn't because I was a woman, because of my own personal weaknesses. And it's not, you know, the reason I started with the stats from the Rose Review is because at the moment in this country, there is a 250 billion potential that lies in women-built businesses. So we're doing this for the reason. And I'm hoping that one day, when we are more at the levels that they're at in America, Canada, and Netherlands, and our rates of female and male entrepreneurship are closer together, there's not such an enormous disparity, then we'll stop doing that, absolutely. But at the moment, we've got a problem in this country. We haven't got enough female entrepreneurs. And that's where we're all together, we can help kind of fill this gap in female entrepreneurship, because it helps the economy, and it's something all of us can do something towards. All of us can play our part in this, because the more we buy from them, the more we talk about them, the more we encourage someone else. You know, we have a sort of kite mark that's going on all our products, and what I'm hoping is that some, you know, I don't know, 12-year-old girl that hears all the negative messaging, you know, she will look at that kind mark and think, oh, that product that I love, that almond milk, or that, I don't know, bar that I love buying, I can't believe, you know, that's built by women. So if she did it, maybe I can do it too, because the perceptions of sort of opportunity and capability are strongly linked. If you see someone else has done it before, you're more likely to try. And that's what we need. We just need to sort of showcase and have all these incredible brands that we've got. You have no idea. The one reaction I always get is, gosh, I had no idea all these were women-built brands. So we've been missing out on the fact that we haven't told people they're women-built. And we have to do that for a while until we achieve more parity.
Okay, so a very clear clarion call, a provocation, a prompt to action. What would you recommend that anyone watching EntreConf today actually does as a result of your talk?
Well, I think everyone there is fairly connected, so they would know women-built businesses, and sort of, you know, think twice about it, see how much benefit there is from you buying from women-built business, putting it on your socials that you're buying from it. Come onto the Buy Women Built website, just see quite how many brands around you. You know, we put the bigger brands that are nationally available, easily accessible. You know, we put them on that. Just look how many of those women built. Just, you know, tell your daughters, tell your sisters, tell your friends about them. Just let's get the word out that women start amazing businesses, because this is how we create this oceanic swell and get more and more female entrepreneurs and fill this 250 billion gap that the Rose Review identified.
Well, if ever there was a person to create that oceanic swell, I have to say, Sahar, it is absolutely you. Your passion, your focus, your knowledge, your desire to effect change has been absolutely palpable this morning. Thank you ever so much for your time. Please, everyone watching us, please do look out by Women Built, and in the future for Sahar Hashemi, contributing to the growth in female entrepreneurial businesses. Perhaps on behalf of us all, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry I can't be there.